Hey everybody, Matt Hartman here for Drunkard's Walk. Thanks so much for listening once again, and a thank you to Jesse Ellie for our theme music and Nick Harmio for our artwork. Well, we have reached the final episode of Season 9, and thank you so much for listening this season. If you just joined us this season, maybe go back and listen to some of our older episodes. We might be releasing some of those during our break. We're going to take a little break here and come back with Season 10, probably in the spring of 2024. So keep an ear out for that. Subscribe to us and make sure that you get the automatic downloads when they happen. And if you want to give us a topic suggestion for next season, just head on over to our link tree. That's linktr.ee/drunkardswalk. You can fill out the form there, give us a suggestion, and we will be in touch to try to get you on the show. We always like to hear from our listeners, so you can send us emails, or you can go to our Facebook page, or whatever you like to do to try to communicate with us. We'd love to hear from you. Hopefully you will have a good winter and beginning of spring, and we will see you again soon. Enjoy the last episode, folks. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Drunkard's Walk, the podcast. My name is Matt Hartman. I am one of the hosts of Drunkard's Walk, and I am, I'm starting to relax and getting ready for a vacation here because, you know, it's been a long 15-week season, and I've reached the final episode of that season, and it's going to be time to go on a little bit of a break and relax and just, you know, watch the sunrise and the snow fall and all of those wonderful things that you get to do when you're relaxing. And you know, I feel like I could do that alone, but it's always better to relax with a friend. And so I think I will relax with my co-host, Jethro Nolan. How's it going, Jethro?
Oh, Matt, I'm just hanging out in the Drunkard's Walk Sensory Deprivation Chamber and just relaxing. And it's just so, I wish there were a word to describe how relaxed I was, but it's just a calming and just rejuvenating time. And it's wonderful. And I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it too. But Jethro, you're going to have to come out of the chamber there because we have one more episode to do, buddy. It's not time to relax yet.
I misunderstood. Hold on a second here. Let me do a quick bump of cocaine. All right, let's do it.
Wow. Is that how you normally do? You do that before we normally get on the call, and is that how that always works?
I mean, isn't it obvious that I'm coked up when we do these things? I thought that was assumed.
I just thought that was just your natural state, man. I didn't know that it was being enhanced by any sort of chemical substance.
No, I naturally have the affect and the tempo of a nappy sloth.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta have a little bump to get through any social activity of any kind where I interact with other people, even a person as lovely as yourself.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. And I appreciate this season that we've had together here. You know, we generally on our last episode we talk a little bit about kind of our favorite episodes and things that we've enjoyed as we've gone through. But I'm gonna suggest we save that for the end this time. Let's wrap up with that. How do you feel? I love it.
Yeah, I love it. You just gonna dive in?
Well, I'm thinking maybe we I mean, we have some housekeeping stuff to do. We have to talk about the fact that, you know, our whole job here is to get from one Wikipedia page to another random Wikipedia page only using the links as we go. And but this particular destination isn't quite so random, because we've got to get back to where we started. And for all of you that remember back to episode 1 of this season, you'll remember we started at Mantis Shrimp. And so that's where we're headed today, Jethro.
Indeed. And I remember virtually nothing about the Mantis Shrimp.
Yeah, they're the little badass bastards of the sea or something along those lines. If I
Mm-hmm.
remember our initial suggestion back in season one, for those that haven't listened before, we get our starting point for every season from our original suggestions from season one. So we've been working our way through those, and we are on the I guess it's the ninth one at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and it's the eighth one, I guess, because our very first suggestion was Drunkard's Walk, Random Walk. So yeah, in season 2 we started with Stiletto, in season 3 Flatwoods Monster, so on and so forth. So if you go back and listen to season 1, you can find out what we'll be starting with in season 10. Is this a good time to let them know we're coming back for season 10, Jethro?
Let's the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Is. So there you go. So if you go back and listen to season 1, which you can only do if you join our Patreon. Unfortunately, it is a couple bucks a month, but it supports the show. It makes sure that we can continue bringing you all of this really high quality content that clearly, if we had a little bit more money, would be super polished. And there would be sound effects and what else can you do with a podcast, Jethro? I'm not even sure.
Celebrity guests.
Oh, well, we kind of had some celebrity guests already this season, so.
Oh, but I mean even bigger celebrities.
No, not bigger. How? That doesn't seem. Well, we're going to talk about that later at the end. I don't want to get into all the things that happened this season yet, but we talked about what we do. We did not talk about the fact that we do occasionally, as we walk, have a little drink as we go.
We do, in fact.
This is our first. Now you've all listened to some episodes in 2024 already, but this is the first episode we're actually recording in 2024. Mm-hmm. So Jethro, did you resolve for the new year to quit drinking by any chance?
Oh God, not for the year. No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I don't think. Why take away one of my few joys? I am doing the dry January thing though. So
are you? Okay.
I'm having a decaffeinated coffee here.
Oh wow.
So that's my exciting, but that's the cocaine. Being able to have cocaine kind of balances out the not drinking thing. So that keeps me up and looking at other things.
I can understand that. I am not doing the dry January thing. I am drinking less than I did during the holidays, that's for sure. But I am having a drink tonight because I wanted to celebrate our final episode, and so I brought on this bottle that my wife was nice enough to get me for Christmas this year. It's a bottle of Weller Special Reserve. Mm-hmm. And this is a very special bourbon that I've been trying to get my hands on for a long time. It is either much too expensive or unavailable where I am, and my wife was able to find it at a reasonable cost to her. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm drinking one of those now.
Wonderful. Well, enjoy.
It is a tasty beverage as well. So if you ever find yourself in the market or find yourself near it, I recommend it.
Cool beans.
Pick one of those up. So there you go. Now we do also need to make a prediction.
We do, in fact,
for how many links it will take us to get from Comicsgate, which is where we'll be starting, to Mantis Shrimp. Folks that listened last week know that the season has already been called. Jethro has won the season. The best I can do is get 6 victories out of this. He has 8, and so he is our winner. And Jethro, I went back and I listened to our episode with Dave Foreman.
Yeah.
To make sure that I was clear on what the stakes were for this thing. And what we agreed to in that episode, and you can go back and listen to it, folks. You can go listen to it as well. It is episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of this season. Was that if you won, then there were no holds barred anymore on the links that we could use. If it was on the page and it didn't take us out of Wikipedia, it was permissible.
Again. Wow.
Yeah.
What a victory.
So that's what you get for winning. Congratulations. Now my question to you is, do you feel that should start now or at the beginning of season 10?
Well, I feel like it was a bet based on the conclusion of the season. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the beginning of season 10 is the appropriate time for that.
Okay.
Freedom.
All right. So there you go, folks. Yeah, another reason to follow along and join us for season 10. In fact, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, go ahead and do that so that you can make sure you get those episodes every week when they come out. They come out usually on Tuesday And I think I have them drop around 4 a.m. Eastern time or something like that. So if you're, commuting to work on the East Coast, you'll be able to still listen on your way to work. Was my thought on that. So there you go. But we do have to make our predictions. So Jethro, have you already done that? Have you predicted?
I have, even though it's meaningless.
Oh,
I've written down a number.
What do you want to make it have some sort of meaning? Do you want to make it like
I bet you $1,000.
No, I'm not going to do that for sure. How about what's something fun? What's a fun thing? How about a cookie? How about we bid a cookie?
A cookie?
Yeah.
Man, I'm still doing the
Oh no, that's right. The keto thing.
Cookies.
So cookies are no good. What about what's something that you would eat that I
how about one of them tiny little bottles of bourbon?
A tiny little bottle of bourbon?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could do that.
All right.
A tiny bottle of bourbon it is. So let me write down what I think. Comicsgate. Mantis shrimp. Gosh, I just have no concept of what to even write here. Our season average, just in case you're curious, was 6.2, and our overall average is 7.1. So all right, let's give this a try. Let's give this a try. Let's see how we do with this. All right. Well, Jethro, I think we should dig in. Let's do it, man. Let's journey off from Comicsgate and see if we can find the Mantis shrimp.
Yeah. Let's dig in, but not on this page because it's full of man babies who don't like that their preferred medium has stuff that appeals to more than just their narrow set of interests.
Yeah. This is the very first link on this page is alt-right. So if you're unfamiliar with Comicsgate, it was an alt-right campaign in opposition to diversity and progressivism in North American superhero comic book industry. Why on earth would you... Whatever. Anyway, no more diversity. Tired of things being different. Damn it.
Also, if you don't like it, just don't buy it.
Yeah.
Just don't buy it. Like, there's media created for all sorts of tastes. Just don't buy the stuff that you don't like. It's not an affront. It's not an attack on you. Nope. Stop being such a little snowflake.
Yeah.
Don't buy the thing.
Yeah. Agreed. So we've got to get from this alt-right campaign into a sea creature eventually. So I am hoping that there's a link on this page to Aquaman.
That would be cool.
That is a comic book about
I'm seeing links to Marvel Comics.
Okay.
But not to... There is a link to Unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Oh.
So that's always an option.
I do. Yeah, you're right. These are the things I'm seeing up front are definitely all Marvel properties. I see She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, which is probably one of the best new cartoons that I've watched in the past 5 or 10 years. It's great. If you haven't seen that,
you've watched that?
The She-Ra show? Yes, the new She-Ra show is awesome.
Is there anything aquatic in there?
There is an aquatic character. I can't remember her name. Actually, there's a pirate too. So there's actually a couple aquatic characters, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, maybe that's a possibility. I do see DC Comics linked on this page, just as a general thing. So that is a possibility to get to Aquaman.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like She-Ra, it would be a couple of steps away.
Yeah, but I feel like Matt, I know that you faced a lot of angst last week for having this be our reception and the grimy jerkwads we had to go through to get here. I mean, we went through Rush Limbaugh and the men's rights movement and toxic masculinity, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So maybe we could stick it to those jerks by getting out of here through She-Ra, because what would piss them off more?
That's interesting. It's definitely true. I don't think any of them are still listening if they were, because they probably did not agree with what we were saying last week. So I don't know who we'd be sticking it to directly. My hope was there was just something a little more closely related, but I don't. I see G.I. Joe, which also has some underwater characters, but again, it's nothing directly related to the ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I see a bunch of comic artists' names, I assume. Uh, None of whom I recognize because comics are not my thing.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, there is Squirrel Girl, as you pointed out, and there is Mockingbird. Those are both superheroes that are named after animals, of which the mantis shrimp is an animal.
mhm.
Is that too much of a stretch? That's too much of a stretch.
I don't think it's too much of a stretch, but I feel like the ocean is large and the relation between the creatures of the air and the creatures of the
Mm,
sea
hmm.
diverged.
Yeah.
Unless you get like, what do they eat?
Hmm.
Like if these are seabirds that dive into the ocean and eat shrimp and such.
So I do think that Shira might be a way to go. My biggest concern with Shira is that it's going to be a page that is not super long, which might be wrong. But a page that would be pretty long is I see that Stan Lee is linked on here.
Hmm.
And I wonder, like, he had such a prolific career and was in so many different things. I wonder if he is kind of like a general, catch-all type of page that would have a lot of different things on it. What do you think about
Uh,
that?
I mean, he certainly had a long and storied career, but it was all in comics. It's not like he was also ambassador to the Netherlands or something.
No, well,
Uh,
not that I know of. But I mean, he was also in movies and things. I don't know they were all
yeah,
related
movies
to
based on
comics and things.
comics.
I understand. I understand that. Okay. Well, I feel like that would be a long page that we would go to, as would DC Comics or Marvel Comics or anything that's like more general like that. But I do like She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and I am happy to go to that page if that is what we decide to do.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. So this is not She-Ra, Princess of Power, which was the original cartoon back in the 80s. Okay, so if you watched any of those, if you saw um, the old He-Man shows, which then they spun off She-Ra, and of course I'm sure you all saw the movie The Secret of the Sword. That's where we found out that He-Man had a sister, and it was She-Ra. But right, you know what I'm talking about, right? Jethro, you saw it in theaters as well.
No, I saw none of this.
What? What? What?
I
What were
saw
what were you doing? I don't understand.
I I'm I apologize to the listener for my total ignorance of anything having to do with She-Ra.
It's like 1985. I mean, what? How old were you in 85?
12.
Okay, so it's perfect time. Perfect
I, I
timing.
was I was busy cultivating tastes in media that would keep me completely isolated from my peers. So
Okay, all
I
right.
was
Well, that
probably
makes up
like
for him.
listening to an old Lead Belly record or something, like something to really make sure that I made no friends and
Yeah. Well,
that kind of stuff.
unfortunately, I see that like characters like Seahawk, and I'm trying to see if the other character that is a aquatic character is on here. They're not linked. So
Hmm.
there's like names of actresses that did the voices of these characters, but the actual characters are not linked. So
Hmm.
that's not going to help.
I do see a link to Therapy Animal,
Interesting.
which
Interesting.
could get us. I don't know how many people have aquatic animals as therapy animals, but
Yeah, I don't think many. Um, let's see. The original She-Ra series is obviously linked on here. Um, I'm looking to see, is there anything about, I remember that this animal is, so Rainbow is linked on here. Oh, which links to Rainbow Flag or Pride Flag, which is good, but it's not going to get us to the same, like, it's a very colorful animal. So if it was like an actual rainbow that they were talking about, I thought maybe we might have a path there. But I think
gotcha.
Rainbow Flag is still a couple steps away from there.
Now there is a link to Hayao Miyazaki, which
Okay.
um, I'm much more familiar with his work,
Sure.
and there are several of his films uh, revolve around natural themes and could get us to animals and/or fantastic creatures. And I'm
Hmm.
much more familiar with that body of work.
Okay. Yeah, possibly, possibly. I don't feel like I feel like if there's a way to get out of here to animals or something or the ocean or something on those lines, that's going to be much better off for us than going to another thing that is potentially connected to something that you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, no,
Like
I completely agree.
we have
Sailor Moon is linked on here.
we have climate movement linked on here.
Okay.
Well, the climate movement and ocean impacts are going to be very closely related to each other, and I think that may be a good path out. Actually,
Cool beans. I like it. I like the way you're thinking.
mm-hmm. New York Times is linked on here as well, but I don't really. We've been through the New York Times a number of times.
Good one.
Thanks. Los Angeles Times as well, but that we've not been through. And Los Angeles is famously near the ocean.
Indeed it is. But that is geographical.
Yeah, it
is.
That's true.
Verboten.
Yeah, wouldn't want to do that. No. Well, I mean, the Los Angeles Times isn't, but yeah. No, what do you think?
So I still don't think Miyazaki is a terrible choice. But you like climate activist?
I do. I think that's going to get us to ocean and ocean issues much more quickly.
Certainly possible. Is there anything else that gets us to the ocean?
Not that I have seen, although the other thing that we should be looking for is, if I remember correctly, there are people who eat this particular thing. This mantis shrimp. I think
people who eat it.
I think there is a I can't remember what country it was, but there's some country where it was like a delicacy.
Okay.
So I wonder if there's a path through like seafood of any kind. So if you saw any link to anything that looked like it was like a food related, I see Netflix on here, which could potentially get us into like cooking shows and things like that. Yeah, no, I still like climate activists or climate movement.
All right, where is this link of yours?
That is down close to the bottom. It is under legacy and influence. And it says, in a New York Times profile on July 21st, 2020, climate activist Jamie Margolin said she watched all 5 seasons of the show over a 3-day period, telling the interview, I was like, I hate the real world. I want to live on Etheria.
Okay, good. Probably not the policy stance we want to completely endorse.
Probably not. But climate activist is linked, and it takes you to climate movement.
All right, let's do it.
All right,
let's
do it. Well, to climate movement, just to be clear, that's where we're climate movement. And I'm going to tell you, Jethro, I'm in favor of this climate movement. I am.
You're pro having a climate?
Consider myself a bit of an environmentalist, and I'm in favor of everything they're doing here with climate action and whatnot.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm. How about you? How do you feel about that?
I'm pro climate.
Yeah,
I'm pro having a livable and breathable climate that we can succeed in the long run. And I believe that our natural tendencies towards overproduction and overconsumption are threatening that capability.
There you go. This is great. This is like the exact opposite of what we had to go through last week. I love it.
Exactly.
Absolutely love it. So far, I haven't seen anything. Let's see, I see weather events, extreme event attribution, also known as the attribution science. Okay. Mount Everest is on here. Constitutional law, Montana.
I'm not seeing the oceans.
No, me neither.
Climate change is linked on here, which would definitely mention the oceans, right?
I mean, I would certainly think so. I don't know how it couldn't. I honestly don't know how this couldn't, but doesn't seem to. There's an Exxon link. They spill a lot of oil in the oceans.
I see a link for fishing, but it's the pH kind of fishing.
Oh, yeah, that's not that's not as helpful.
Not exactly what we need.
Fuel is on here. Maybe these things die and become fossils. Is that a thing?
Possibly. Yeah, there's a lot of fossil fuel stuff here, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, there sure is. I see a picture of the Earth. There's a map that has the oceans on it.
Just in case you were curious which climate they were talking about. It's the Earth's climate.
There's the Netherlands. They're close to the ocean, but again, geographical.
They really are right up against it.
Huh. So I see there's a link at the bottom to effects of climate change. And ecological movement is on here. Well, it takes you environmental movement. So I guess that's kind of the same thing. But yeah, I don't see anything on here about. I don't even see anything on here about like animals. Oh, I guess
Well,
there's
again,
there's
not
the
not that we're permitted
oh
to
yeah
go there, but if you scroll down to the little boxed areas,
yeah.
we've got environmentalism and climate change, both
Hmm.
of which are available. And the climate change one is huge. It's got overview, causes, histories, effects and issues, mitigation, adaptation, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I mean, we have climate change. We can go to the climate change page here, right? I mean, we could follow that link if we felt that
Indeed.
that was going to be a good way to go. And that might be the best way out of here, based off of what I'm seeing, because I don't see anything that's specifically related to the oceans, and I don't see anything that's specifically related to animals either, which I think is crazy. Like I really thought that there was going to be stuff like that on this page, but no, there's not.
Indeed. That did seem like a reasonable conclusion.
You sure would think so, wouldn't you? But it's all about marches and things like that, which is great. It's the activities and it's the stuff that they did, and the home front during World War II is linked in here, of course, because that's the type of stuff you would expect. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think climate change might be our best bet out of here.
So there is a link to Palau,
Hmm.
or the Republic of Palau, which I know is geographical,
That's a
but
geographical place. Yeah.
it is a an island.
Yeah.
So it's going to have ocean stuff all about it. There could be stuff about the fishing and or creatures therein.
Yeah.
Another thing is a link to the Inuit,
Hmm.
who live off of creatures of the sea as well.
Hmm.
So rather than going to climate change with the hope of getting to ocean, we could go to one of those two things and get to some kind of aquatic life,
Hmm.
which is really what we want. We want mantis shrimp. We don't want the oceans generally, because even if we get to oceans through climate change, we're going to want to get to creatures that live in the ocean,
Right.
and or creatures that eat the things that live in the ocean.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I
I'm
guess
not wrong.
I guess my problem with Palau is that it is a place. It is geographical, and that feels not super fair to me.
You know, it's not geographical.
What's up?
Inuit.
That's true, and that's what I was going to say. Um, hmm.
Come on, Matt. Are you
Ugh,
Inuit?
that's terrible. Um, I guess I am concerned that it's going to be a limited page, and it's going to be the sea life that is on it is going to be stuff that is in colder climates. And as I don't remember this for sure, but I believe the mantis shrimp is not a cold climate creature. But if you feel like that's going to be a better bet than climate change, and yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I'm on the fence.
Well, so you prefer climate change, because climate change is going to get us to hopefully ocean, or are you thinking there's going to be specific aquatic species that are mentioned on that page?
I do think that is my hope anyway, and I don't know that for sure, but I do think that there are going to be specific species named on that page, and they're going to be aquatic, and that's how we're going to get in.
All right.
That's my guess.
So effects of climate change.
Wait a minute. I just saw a link for evolution.
Aha.
What do you think about that?
Where is this link?
It is up at the top. It's actually just in the second paragraph. It's the second to last sentence, and it says, "Youth activism and involvement has played an important role in the evolution of the movement after growth of Fridays for Future strikes started by Greta Thunberg in 2019." But when you mouse over evolution, it is biological evolution that they're talking about.
Interesting.
So I don't think it's the correct link for that particular usage of the word evolution, but I think it does get us into potentially what we would want to be looking at.
Well, I'm a big evolution fan. I guess, is it such a wide net that there's got to be some aquatic species mentioned on that page, right?
For sure.
I guess my concern would be that so much of the 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 popular discussion of evolution has been on either plants, think Gregor Mendel and the peas, or on creatures in the fossil record, which I guess there's no reason that those aren't equally represented in aquatic, although I think of them as land because they ended up on the land when they got dug up for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If we were trying to get to some sort of finch, I would be immediately going to evolution, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that there's a path here, and that is, I would go to that before climate change, and I would also go to it before Inuit.
All right, let's do it. Evolution it is.
Evolution.
And this is a nice and sizable page, as one would hope.
Natural selection, genetic drift, biodiversity. There's Russell Wallace. There's Charles Darwin. There is the history of species. Or, I'm sorry, and the origin of species, excuse me. So, yeah, so we got all kinds of stuff in here. I love it so far. Evolutionary forces, phenotypes, genotypes. Sunburn, that happens at the beach. How about that one?
Indeed.
Oh, this is interesting. They've got the peppered moths. Have you ever heard that story about the peppered moths? How the ones that were the white ones died out because of the
yes.
Yeah. I thought I heard that was not true.
It's possible. I haven't kept up on the peppered moth.
But they've got evolution of peppered moth is a link here, and I don't see it actually explained on this page. They just have the pictures. So, invertebrates is on here, which I believe a shrimp is an invertebrate. So, could potentially get there through invertebrate.
Arthropods are on here. Is it an arthropod?
Interesting. I don't know. It's a crustacean, right?
I mean, if you hover over the arthropod link,
yeah,
the creature in the upper right-hand corner looks an awful lot like a shrimp.
Okay. It may very well be. It has been a long time since I've been teaching biology, so I have lost my acute awareness of which group different folks fit into. I see links to more frogs, and I see links to dolphins. So these are things like that, but I haven't gotten to your arthropod link yet. There's a lot of things. Baleen whale is on here.
Oh yeah.
So we definitely have ways to get into sea creatures. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Baleen whale is definitely an option.
There's arthropod. Okay. Oh yeah, that does look like a shrimp. I agree with you. Yeah, maybe they are. Maybe shrimp are arthropods. There's vertebrate, there's squid. What else do we see on here? Because I wonder if there's anything about like the coloration of the mantis shrimp is like a big deal. Like it's this very colorful thing, and I wonder if there's anything about that on here anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as the main evolution page, it's very broad strokes.
Well, but there's donkeys, there's mules, there's gray tree frogs. There's so many different things named on here.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff going on under evolution.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no. Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's Tyrannosaurus Rex.
There it is.
Global warming. There's applications of evolution, I guess. It's interesting. Applications of evolution. John Henry is on here. What? Oh, John Henry Holland. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's a different thing. Oh gosh, look at all these different things in this timeline here. Multicellular life, earliest plants, earliest animals. Okay, that's not really going to help us. Oh, there's arthropods again, though. Mollusks, dinosaurs, mammals, primates, birds, flowers.
The rough-skinned newt.
I knew a guy. We used to call him Rough-Skilled Newt. He was a tough guy to get to know. Let's see here. Sponges, brown algae, slime molds.
I love a good
Some of
slime
those
mold.
amphibians.
Yeah, I really feel like arthropods is our best
You think
bet.
that's a bet? You think that's the best bet? You don't see any other shrimp linked on this page.
I have not yet.
Okay. Charles Darwin. He wasn't super tall.
No, that's that picture of him with a monkey's body, though, is not a photograph, I should point out.
That's not. It isn't. Are you sure?
It is a satirical cartoon making fun of
Oh.
Darwin's belief
Okay.
in evolution.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess
Because
it's not.
apparently people back then had a favorite book that did mention evolution,
Which.
and therefore they thought it was the Comicsgate of its day.
Oh. Okay. Huh. Yeah. I have reached the bottom of the article here. Which, good lord, the number of references is huge. It's almost half the page.
Well, you got a lot of non-believers out there, so you have to document everything very carefully.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That is something else. All right. Well, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. There's all kinds of things down at the bottom under the stuff we're not allowed to use.
Not this season, anyway.
Nope, not this season. Come back next season for us to get to something else. All right. So you think that
I think arthropod
is the way to go? Yeah, I think that you might be right. I got to get back up there and find it. Where's that little? There we go. Arthropods. All right. Are we going to arthropoda?
Let's do it.
All right. Arthropods.
Not to be confused with anthropod.
No, of course. Don't do that.
All right, then.
What is it? What's the anthropod? What's the difference there? Oh, not going to tell me. Okay, well, then I won't look. Do we see anything talking about shrimp in here? Have we confirmed that shrimp are actually arthropods?
I mean, that picture, which is showing up on the upper right-hand corner of that sort of photo collage, that is a shrimp, right?
I mean,
when you hover over it, it says Peneus monodon.
Right. That doesn't mean anything to me. It does look like a shrimp, but it doesn't mean that it is, I guess. So I'm not sure.
Maybe
spiders.
Maybe
mites,
if we scroll down on this one, there'll be
anus.
Some options here.
I do see crustaceans. It says, yeah, the appendages of most crustaceans. So crustacean is linked on here. If we need to get out through that, we can. Horseshoe crabs, millipedes, centipedes. I know all of my biology friends are out there yelling at me like, "What are you doing? You're an idiot. They're not arthropods, you moron." Gonna get my science teacher license revoked.
Boy.
Centipedes is on here again. Not seeing it, man. Not seeing anything about shrimp on here. Are you? Am I missing something here?
Well, the nice thing about this is that if you go, so there's a little under segmentation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very interesting graphic showing body segments, but underneath that, it says the most conspicuous specialization segment is the head. The four major groups of arthropods, and then it lists the Latin names. But after the Latin names, it has examples within that group.
Yeah.
So the first one is Chelicerata, which has sea spiders, horseshoe crabs, and arachnids, all of which have their own preview images.
Mm-hmm.
So if we look at crustacea, we've got Oligostraca, copepods, malacostracans, some of which very much look like shrimp to me.
Well, on the plus side, there's a link to the word shrimp actually on this page. So
okay, that probably is easier.
I was going to let you keep going, but yeah, there is an actual link to shrimp that I have found. So that may be the way to go, unless mantis shrimp itself is linked on this page. I think shrimp is where we're headed. But
now here's a question: is a mantis shrimp actually a shrimp, or is it a misnomer?
As I recall, it is actually a shrimp. Now, am I recalling correctly? I don't know,
You
but
were drunk.
I'm pretty sure that it was
Yeah.
a shrimp.
I'm not even a third of the way down this page, so I would probably want to look a
Well,
little bit more.
here's the nice thing about this, Jethro, is that about 2/3 down the page, there's a link to Mantis shrimp.
What?
There's a
Where is it?
table. There's a table about 2/3 of the way down. It has subphyla, classes, and members. And under Crustacea, under members, you will find the mantis shrimp along with the skeleton shrimp, the woodlice, the shrimps, the crabs, the lobsters, the krill, etc.
Where is this magical table?
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It is under evolution and classification. I don't know what section it's in here. I have to go up really high to find a section. Evolutionary history. So get down to evolutionary history. And then go down to the section that says, what is this called? Evolution and classification in living arthropods.
And mantis shrimp is right there. Look at that.
There it is.
We did it.
It turns out it is
critter.
an arthropod.
Fantastic. Well done. Well done, us.
Mantis shrimp. Well, there you go. Full circle. We have gone all the way from where we started, mantis shrimp, back to where we ended, mantis shrimp. It is a carnivorous marine crustacean of the order Stomotopoda. So that's the order that it is in. And it is an arthropod.
Good
So
deal.
there you go. You were right, Jethro. Congratulations on that, on seeing that picture and realizing that that was where we needed to be.
Amazing. Awesome.
Well, cool. So how did you do? So it took us Comicsgate to Mantis Shrimp took us 5 links. How many did you estimate there? 5.
I estimated 5.
Jethro, so did I.
Look at that. We tied in friendship.
Ridiculous. Well, there you go. So I guess we'll carry it over to next season in a way that won't matter at all. But yeah, this has been fun. This has been a great season, I think. I really enjoyed it. For those that are keeping stats at home, our longest walk was 9. And we did that twice, actually. We did that when we went from Blake Schwarzenbach to Emerald View Park, and we did that when we went from Chex Quest to Viennetta. You remember either of those fondly?
I mean, Chex Quest to Viennetta was a shocker to me because we were going from one food-related thing to a food. So I was shocked that it took us as long. And they're both like 80s, 90s cultural type phenomenon. So
yeah,
that one was a little crazy for me. I will say probably my favorite discovery of the whole thing was the sacred cod.
Oh yeah.
That was a fun thing because we got to go through Mad Magazine and the National Lampoon, and ultimately found the sacred cod in a very surprising and satisfying way.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed learning about the Outer Bridge crossing, and when I heard it, instantly assumed that it meant a bridge that was somehow outer versus inner. But no, Outer Bridge was just the name of the person that it was named after, a bridge named after someone named Outer Bridge. I thought that was really fun. I also want to point out, so we started our season with Rick Seaback. You were mentioning that we were going to get celebrities bigger than what we had already. I don't know how you top Rick. But he gave us a suggestion of Jackie Orms. And I recently got a Pittsburgh trivia book, and in it there was a section all about Jackie Orms.
Nice.
Which I thought was very cool. I took a picture of it, and I believe I posted it on our Instagram. I'm not sure about that. But.
Well, Rick wasn't the only celebrity we had on our podcast this season.
No.
We were chock-a-block with celebrities. We had the folks from Escape This Podcast on.
Yes, that was awesome.
Very exciting.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And then we had.
I know a lot of people started listening to us because of their recommendation on their show. So thank you very much to them. For doing that.
You
and to all of you that are listening because of that.
There you go. And we also had Karen Chu from Good Job Brain.
Oh my gosh, yes, that was. I mean, you know that had to be my favorite moment, getting to actually talk to Karen after listening to hours and hours of her and her co-hosts talk about trivia, and actually getting to speak to her was a blast. And
your enthusiasm and earnest appreciation of the moment was endearing and lovely. So,
oh, good. I'm glad that was the case. Yeah, and we also had, we had the wives on. They beat us again this season, Jethro. So we have to have them back next season and see who's going to be the ultimate supreme winner there, because I think they've won 2 and we've won 2, and so we gotta fight for our honor, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose. Or we could just, keep having them win and have them be happy. That's probably not going to be a bad outcome for us.
Not a bad idea either. We also had some old friends on. We had Dave Foreman on, Nick Jaramillo, Jesse Ali. It was great to see them. And then some new friends as well with Ryan Zlomek, whose podcast I got to be on. And then you brought on Chad and Anish and Will.
Yeah.
They were all they're kind of newer people that right? Jesse, I brought on Jesse Evans from down the street. Ken Moser was from a few seasons ago, and then we had our friend Chris Franz on as well.
We did.
So gosh, it's going to be tough to top this list of guests in any kind of upcoming season. I don't know how we'll do it. I really don't, but I guess hopefully we can. Did you what my favorite moment was, Jethro? Did you have a favorite episode or favorite moment other than the discovery of the sacred cod, or was that the ultimate top your list?
I really enjoyed that moment. I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good one. All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up then. We've gone full circle. We'll be back again for you with season 10. Look for that probably sometime in the late winter, early spring to be coming your way. But until then, Jethro, it has been a distinct pleasure. A thank you to all of our guests and to everybody who's been listening. I know I say that before every episode, but thank you for listening. Thank you to Jesse Ali for our theme music and Nick Jaramillo for our artwork. I say that at the beginning of every episode also. And thank you, Jethro, for continuing to do this, riding this out of the pandemic and into whatever world we live in now. I'm excited to do it every time we get online.
Me too. Thank you so much, and thank you. And then have a great 2024, everybody.
Yeah, that's right. We'll talk to you in a few months. Take care.